Sorry for the hold up, guys. I had some business to take care of, but now I'm back and I'm ready. Murder on the Warp Express, BokGak, baby. Anyways.
This is your sense, bro. You're fucking weirdo. Yo.
Okay, I'm back. I felt it snap a little. Anyways, I'm back and I'm ready, baby. Woo!
Man, did you really just break your microphone again? Oh shit. From the beginning,
Hey, Fumi, sub persona.
Hold up. Alright, I'm calling me on my messenger. Fuck this. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Yo, actually, fuck yo. Yo, bro. Hop on Valo, Leon. Why? You're betraying me! Cuban's on. He's gonna give you a big fat kiss.
Alright.
No-brainer.
Ooh. More lunacy.
Young dude's on. Young dude's on.
Nice.
We're gonna fight stack, bro. We're gonna fight stack hunt, bro. Yes, bro. Furry roleplay. We're doing furry roleplay while we fight stack.
I think someone lost a COD match in your help. My little brother yet again. Forgive him. Anyways,
Yes, dude.
just ignore him or something.
Bro.
Hold on.
You know it, bro. You know it, Leon.
Okay, testing. You could probably do 20 pulls on the banner.
Nah, bro. That can wait until tomorrow.
Alright, if you insist.
Yo, y'all have school tomorrow? We don't
Alright.
have school until November.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so start.
Yes, bro. You really have to.
No gold.
Yes, bro. That's the mindset.
Well, that's a shame.
네, 저는 선배가 아니.
Oh, and
흐름을
Corp
따라
Cliff.
여기서 왔으니 이를 막는 건 무엇이든
Oh, dang,
배워내겠습니다.
Blade Lineage Otis. Okay. Okay, show me the reward exchange. I want to check because I didn't join the game. Alright.
Alright, bro. Hop on. Join this one.
Here we go.
He closed the call. Let's go.
Banner at 750 and 600. Announcer at 500. Multi-crack office fixer at 500. Tickets at exchange pulls at 20. Not that much in the way.
I'm dating you as well, Yongju. Come on, bro.
But who's complaining, eh?
We're all dating each other, bro. We're all dating each other.
so far, not much in the way. I was hoping for more, but this is the most we've got. Dang it. Yeah, you say find reward, but I don't know.
Yes, bro. Me and Yams are gonna give you a gift. Me and Yams are gonna give you a gift.
46. Damn it. Oh, you're doing well, Persona, on 414 and somehow keeping up with Clash Power. Nice. That sounds nice. Anyways, I should probably get started. My start is just about different. Yeah, I mean, when you have him based on a member of the thumb. Hold on. Okay, sorry for the hold up, guys. I'm back. Just needed to handle some errands real quick. Anyways.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You want me to go through the story, or do you want me to skip to the point? Because I already did a stream of this a few weeks ago. I just want to ask. Like, you want me to voice this, or do you want me to skip it and get to the fighting? I just want to ask.
Chat, look what is in general. Look in general.
Oh, damn, 1,000! God damn, boy! You must be mad rich. Go through it again, it's voiced now. Alright, I guess I'll voice it. Alright. I'm more a fight guy because I've already seen this 3 times. Alright, so how did this happen? First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, P Corp. Got into our fancy first class flash freeze hibernation capsules, and we were supposed to arrive at P Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante, please respond. The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Faust, who had entered hibernation at the same time as I did. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train, which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost, unknown dimension. Dante, I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but... What the hell happened? First things first. Let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. A few days ago, our next destination is to a warp train, Dante. What? Okay, you wanna ask if you wanna tell me about Left Town, huh? I may have seen a few context clues or two, then I went and watched the whole thing. I'm aware of what Left Town is. Basically a warp train that got hijacked and got knocked out for about a few thousand years, I think. Yeah, I think about a century or so, if I recall. The waiting got so long to the point where people started mutilating each other. And in the middle of it all, an unfortunate young couple who was stitched together into some grotesque monstrosity. Yeah, I think I know most of the clues, but I should also figure that most of you can pick up on it as well. Anyways. Yup, that's where it all started. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Verily, I must have misheard? I'm quite certain you didn't, Don Quixote. We are now en route to the T-Corp warp train station.
열차의 승강장에 뭔가 문제가 있는 것이로군. 그것을 해결하러 가는 것이 아마도 우리의 임무 아니겠는가?
That warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there indeed. A quest that must be swiftly addressed at the station, yes?
워프 열차 승강장에
It is
또 뒤틀림이라도 나타났나?
the distortion at one of the warp pop up at one of the warp platforms or something.
소일거리를 하는 데에 제법 거리낌이 없게 되었군.
I see
하지만
that you are now
그것도 아니라
significantly less disinclined to take on some jobs, but no.
P사로
We are
이동하기
boarding the
위해
warp train to get
워프
to P
열차에
Corp. End of
직접
story.
탑승한다.
There's nothing between the lines,
문자
so
그대로
don't try reading
받아들이면
into it.
될 일이지.
It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W Corp, but we're actually taking that train. Through what vague information we could gather from the identities, we all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing these more of these as of late.
인격을 사용했을 때의
So I have buried them, if at present at all, recollections from the time during which I wear the identities.
관리자와 인격의 대화록을 보았을 때 워프 열차의 원리가 다소 비효율적이고 기이하다는 부분은 확실했다.
It can be determined from the conversational records between the manager and the identities that the mechanisms behind the warp train's operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient.
아, 10초 만에 도착하는 게 아니라 사실은 엄청 오래 운행한 뒤에 승객분들의 기억을 전부 없애는
Oh,
거죠.
yeah. It's that 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches the destination, they just wipe the passengers' memories.
탑승객끼리 서로를 찍고 부순다고 했던 것 같은데요.
I also heard that the passengers get so weary of boredom that they start literally ripping and tearing into one another.
오랜만에 걸작품을 들여다볼 수 있겠군.
Sounds like I might finally have a chance to see a masterpiece with my own eyes. Even when the sinners wear the identities through my identity cards, the identities' memories or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over and done with. I remember when Faust explained that, due to the risks associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some things that sound particularly important and sometimes shared with the rest of the sinners. My voice doesn't carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but I had an abundance of W Corp identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But, maybe ignorance really is bliss.
여러분의 이런 동요와 반발은
Their collective agitation and possible incompliance have already been anticipated.
파우스트군? 그대는 벌써 알고 있었던 겐가? 본인한테만 미리 살짝이라도 알려주지 그랬어.
Lady Faust! Then thou hast known this all along. Wherefore hast thou not deigned to tell me of this?
파우스트는 모든
Faust
것을
has
알고
indeed
있습니다.
known this all along, as no knowledge is out of Faust's reach.
여러분이 떠올린
Naturally, a
문제를
solution to your
해결할
dilemma
방법도
has already been prepared.
준비해둘수록 철을
I
탄다는
seriously
사실이
doubt
변하지
your
않는
solution
방법이
involves
있다고요?
not getting on the train, so what is it?
버스, 이
The bus?
버스는요?
Oh, what about this
열차 안에
bus?
버스가
There's no
들어갈
way
리가
this
없잖아요.
thing fits inside a train car!
카론도 반대. 내 피 말고 다른 걸 타면 내 피
Charon vetoes too. No one to feed Mephi when Charon's gone. Miss Faust.
워프 열차의 최후미는 화물
The
칸에
rearmost tail cars of
편성되어
warp trains are all freight
있습니다.
cars. That is where Mephistopheles will be
해당
safely
칸에
fastened and transported.
또한
And the LCP will
1등석을 통해
have the benefit of
이동할
boarding as
예정입니다.
first-class passengers. The bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarmed response from earlier.
1등석이라면
First-class passengers.
놈들의 지정석 같은데
What?
아니야?
The seats for those pompous toffs?
누구는 표 살
Even on
돈도
normal
없어서
trains, you've
기차
got those
화물
sods whose
타기 뛰어가고
proudest
있는데
accomplishment in life is finding their asses in first-class seats, while others are cramming themselves into freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Why are you glaring at me like that? I've never been in one of those first-class seats before either.
자리 하나에 날개
Isn't
직원
the
초봉
ticket for a
20달
single
주문을
first-class seat
한다던데.
like as
그래서
expensive
조선
as 3
괜찮은
or
거
4
맞아?
months' salaries of a first-year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for us each?
걱정할 만한 재정 상태는
The
아니죠.
company's budget is not a subject that warrants your concern. I heard first-class passengers get some cool bonus stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they?
그런 식으로
That is the
홍보하죠.
promotional language, yes. They are flash freeze hibernation capsules, to be precise.
워프 열차가
They have
실제
been
이동하는 시간 이상으로도 안정적인 작동이 되는 성능이니 탑승객은 눈을 감았다가 떴을 뿐인데
They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. Passengers will feel as though the trip is over in the blink of an eye.
그래도 회사의 배려에
The company's reward for our well-being is unfamiliar yet welcome. To be provided such extravagance merely for our comfort, such occurrence is quite seldom.
그러게.
Right? I honestly thought they were going to swap the guide and Charon into the first-class seats and ship the rest of us in the economy cars.
구태여 전원을 안치기보단 관리자님과 그 충실한 조력자만 있어도 충분했었겠지만.
So that's why each idea is a different level and you can use Earl King Heath even though you know. Don't play LabCorp, it's hell. Oh, are you referring to earlier? The filtering, I see what you mean. You know what Brick's saying he's played Neo 1. Oh, I see what you mean. I get it. Alright. Anyways. This seems like an unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisor access to those seats. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get to our next mission, alright? We have to think about the unique nature of the warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. Right. I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I know you'd also be worried about, for example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting into a first class car. If they can even attempt to open it, I mean. I'm pretty sure the door separating the cars is ironclad. Ishmael, who had been holding the first class promotional pamphlet in her hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes. We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsules, shut our eyes, and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess is in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out commemorative merch back when their finances weren't in the gutter and... Oh.
항상 고난이 따라붙긴 마련이지. 허나 칭송받는 영웅도 잠시 눈을 감고 쉬어갈 때가 필요한 법. 언제나 허름한 여간에서 몸을 낼 순 없는 일이지.
A true adventure is not without its hardships, yet even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And in very rare occasions, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in place of a quaint inn. Indeed. It seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant that they could ride in this first-class seats.
타야 한다면 타겠다.
I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. Don't want to miss out on all the fun. Virgilius pretended to not hear Ryoshu's question. Very well. Then I assume that we are all in agreement. Let's go. I've a matter of great import to discuss with thee. What is it? Out with it, lass. Beating around the bush ain't like you. Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice. That is, in the first-class seats. I have heard the tale that we must board with our feet freed from our boots. Don't that claim hold water? Oh, come on now. Where did this nonsense gossip come from this time? There's no gossip! Forsooth, I have overheard aught from those we have walked past here today, and when one of them required, you know that you gotta go barefooted first class, right? The other responded with, of course, man. What am I, stupid? Let the travelers speak true, Ishmael? Don't ask me. I've never been on one of these either. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the pamphlet. Give me a sec. I mustn't be separated from Rocinante, not even for a twinkle. I should have thought Rocinante has side next to some vulgarities like the ugly shoes of Sir Heathcliff. Oi, you little! I implore thee, O illustrious red gaze, Bertie, grant me thy permission and allow me to board with Rocinante. I expected Virgilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone, if untainted by that familiar annoyance. Fine. Keep your shoes on. Alright. We're gonna be here a while. This place is huge. That was my first impression of the warp train station. So this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Rocinante. So each nest has one of these massive structures in them. I've got nothing. Oi, know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asked, gesturing towards Mersault with his chin. Every warp train station has been built with a general design philosophy that draws from its respective nest's architectural idiosyncrasies. It can also be said that many critics in the relevant fields praise the warp train stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff started treating Mersault like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Mersault! Young Mersault! No, is that passenger over yonder one from the west? Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends, often visible in the outfits of the Western population. While that individual's cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of North and South, they are largely considered to be an Eastern fashion trend, rarely seen among Western. Prithee, song thyself, for I must make a record of thy lecture. What wisdom dost thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? I've once espied in the magazine that they are garbed in puffy, loose-fitting outfits. Understandably so, given the colder climate of the region. An opportunity for a first-hand observation stands before you. Ah! 3 seconds of screaming duet, one of utter fascination, the other of unmitigated frustration. What the shit? You nearly blew out my eardrums! You're one to talk! Dude, I've got an audible frequency range expansion implant in my eardrums! Holy shit, man! Now get the hell out of my way! You're bucking the walkway like a ragtag bag of hicks who's never even seen a warp train before! Damn it, I take the train all the way here for an expedition only to lose my target, and now these assholes are trying to blow out my eardrums. Great, just great! I love this! Guys, isn't that obvious that we've never been on a warp train before? And the round trip ticket fee came straight out of my damn pocket! Oh, watch out, big fella. Someone might get seriously hurt if you keep swinging these forearms around, each holding a weapon to boot.
혹시 그대의 옷차림에 대해 조금 더 자세히 관찰해봐도 괜찮겠는가? 오, 그래, 그 포즈로! 이왕이면 5분 정도만 가만히.
I don't know if that's Sasha from the get-go, I'm just saying. Pretty, wilt thou stand still for but a moment to satisfy a few inquiries of mine regarding thy outfit? Oh, yes, stand in absolute stillness for 5 minutes and I... Seriously? The fixer with a particularly impressive set of prosthetic arms spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform. Indeed, this city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full-body prosthetics. That's when Virgilius slowly walked up to our group. Well then, we'll rendezvous at the destination. Huh? Will the illustrious red gaze not ride alongside us? W Corp policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board a train specially prepared for them instead. Oh, are you riding the first class bus or something? That's a core fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment from the wings no matter where he goes. Charon wants to go back to Mephi. Mephi will be lonely. I told you before, Charon, 3 separate times actually, each time I bought you one of those candies that people aren't allowed aboard the freight cars. Well then, Miss Faust. Yes? Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and nod with Faust, escorted the particularly peeved Charon away. Dante, let us proceed this way. We followed Faust's guidance to the entrance of our train car. Rice Cooker, Monochrome Liberator, hey! What? Hey, nice seeing you guys here. Come on. Nice seeing you. We're just about to get started. Damn. Whoa, hey, our cars are starting to come back. Oh. Hey, these must be the fabled complimentary food and drink of the first class seats. Heck yeah, of course. Only stuff like these gotta be included with that insane pricing. The general response to this room was surprised at the rows upon rows of expensive-looking, sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in the flesh. Faust, are these flash freeze hibernation pod devices safe?
안전.
Please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. These things that are supposed to freeze a solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that?
일시적인 사망 상태에
A
이르는
flash
것은
freeze
없지만
hibernation device will put you in a temporary
세포가
state of
생성될
death
수
caused by a
없이 금결하는 것이니까요.
rigid cellular
일반적으로는
cryopreservation
문제
process.
없습니다.
However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during the phase change. Therefore, in most normal cases, this will not cause any issues.
동결 시에 발생하는
Faust is aware
내부의
that this
증가나
model is fully resolved cell membrane breaching issues caused by cryogenic density change or by the formation of sharp ice crystals and
파우스트는
frozen
알고
water
있답니다.
molecules. I missed about half of what you said, but your point is that it's safe, right?
적어도 파우스트가 알고 있는 선에서는 그렇습니다. 혹여
Yes,
문제가
as far as
있더라도
Faust is aware,
결국
even
도착 시에는
if an issue were to
원점으로
arise during the journey, everyone will be
문제가 없는
reverted to their
것도
original
다르지
state at the start of the train trip upon arrival. The outcome will be no different from there having been no issue in the first place. If you got some real talent in dragging out something so simple as, yeah, it's safe to so many words. Seriously.
네,
Indeed, as
파우스트는
Faust's
모든
talents are not
방면에서
limited to a
재주가
singular
있습니다.
field. Okay, but that still leaves a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering, however, I realized that there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. As far as Faust is aware, are you saying that it could be wrong?
파우스트는
As a
대체로
general
틀리지
rule, Faust
않습니다.
is not air.
하지만
However,
신도
Faust
아니죠.
is also not a divine being.
파우스트가 아직 구하지 못한 정보도 세상에는 존재합니다.
There
그렇기 때문에
still exists in the world
사실은 말할 수
information
있어도
to which Faust is yet to have
진실과 무관할 수 있는
access.
것이죠.
Therefore, while Faust may speak the facts, what is said may not always align with the truth. They don't call first class for nothing, I guess. P-Corp's way up there in the northern eastmost corner of the city, but this thing will take us there in the blink of an eye, huh? That's one hell of a time saver. Prepare thyself, Rocinante. Thus begins the long jaunt.
그러고 보니까
Oh, I've been meaning to ask Don Quixote.
그 신발
Do you ever, wash those shoes? Where'd that come from, Roja?
아니
No, I mean, like, think back to when we were inside that whale. When that whale blew up, we got all kinds of gross, slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes, our shoes, everything. Yeah. And do you remember how much we had to scrub to get that bloody, fishy, fleshy gunk out of our clothes? This really isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Right? And do you remember, also remember, how Don Quixote never took her shoes off for once during that entire ordeal? Okay, I guess they do look a bit filthy. I ask thee, dear compatriots, hast thou ever witnessed an errant knight who leaves the side of their beloved steed? Can't say ever witnessed a knight before, though.
그렇다면
That now shall know. Starting now. Behold to it, hearken to it, and remember it well. They don't spare us even a moment of quiet, do they?
조용히 있는 법이 없고.
Wowzer.
그런데 오티스 씨도
Have you ever been on one of these
이런 곳에
before,
와보신 적이
Otis?
뭐 옛날에
I have been treated to premium
이런
VIP
비슷한
seats of similar
VIP
grandiosity
좌석을
back
제공받고는
when.
있지.
This is nothing to fuss over. Otis, who's sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asks Faust a question. Hey, you're confident that no accidents ever occurred on one of these first-class cars, yes?
여러분의 불안감
In order to
조성을
prevent
방지하기
cases
위해
of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings among the sinners, the history of accidents that has occurred aboard warp trains will not be shared. Wait, what do you mean?
곧 출발하려나 본데요.
Oh, looks like the train's about to depart.
피사행 PW612
This is for warp train PW612 bound for P-Corp. Boarding period is ending soon. The sinners were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car suddenly became a lot busier.
그럼 너무
Then,
늦기
let us
전에
hurry and enter our
출발하도록
capsules before it is too late. Oh no, why isn't this? The other sinners made it into their capsules no problem, but I felt like I was the only one who was fumbling.
긴장하셨나요?
Are you nervous, Dante? I think so. Initiating warp in 10 minutes.
제가 돕도록
Allow me
하죠.
to assist you. Stand as though you are leaning back and... Faust guided me into the capsule as though she'd done something like this before, then pressed the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch.
너무 걱정하지 마세요.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Yeah, give me a second. I'm reading the chat here. Okay, so you can always in one when you like flesh. No matter if you want to lose clash, if you miss 5%. I do not know why, but I'm getting slapped with dominating yield my flesh, but I somehow lose. How's that possible? I'm going insane. Oh, you want to use TCTB? Screw you, dominating YMF.
금방 다시 보게 될 겁니다. 단테.
Man, I want to try and get Mersault's Blade Lineage identity. His moves have got to be crazy good, though. We will meet again in but a moment, Dante. I thought I heard a brief sigh, but the hatch is shut tightly before I could ask her anything.
우리 열차는 이제 워프하겠습니다.
Initiating warp, please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was Foss climbing into her own capsule opposite of mine. What did I know back then? What she really meant by "we will meet again in but a moment." Dante, you must wake up, Dante. But one thing I knew for sure was an unexpected situation has occurred. That something had seriously gone wrong. Hold on. Give me a second. Just gotta set something up. I think this is everybody. Oh, wait. That's better. Needed to utilize the bonus here. Take a look. Only got the... Oh, yeah. 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, only got a 4... Only got 80% gain for the event currency. Just wanted to tell y'all. Anyways, I just wanted to tell everyone that because I am going to be going in with under-leveled units, so things are bound to happen. Anyways, hold on. Anyways, disappearing passengers.
Fall back, bro. What are you doing? You're gonna...
So, wait, Brick, you're saying you have every identity but Heathcliff so far. Okay, that's not half bad. Yeah, that's definitely not half bad, I'm just saying. I'd say you're still in good hands. Maybe. Anyways, we're here already? Wow, I guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happened in the blink of an eye. As always, Foss was giving me her usual look, which was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Which I suppose is why it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. No, we have not yet arrived at our destination. Huh? But once I finally came to and had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked at her face, up at her face once again, and realized that her expression was more antsy than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. So, this train is still running. Yes, then where are we? I believe that we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension, coordinates unknown. I took a reflective, deep breath from the sheer horror of that numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be a part of Faust's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation. But this is all just part of the plan, right? Faust? That was an unusually long silence from Faust. You are half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, Faust left me to flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each capsule to wake the sinners. Ooh, we're here already? Man, it really happened in the blink of a... No. Ooh, what's this? We're here already? For real? It really happened in the blink of a... No. Well, we're here already? I guess I wasn't really worrying over... No. No. I have not uttered a single word yet. There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colors, followed by a flat-toned explanation of our current predicament, which was then followed by a long-loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play out on about 10 consecutive occasions. Dante, I understand your confusion, however, perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstance is necessary. And that brings us to the present. Let me get this right. Alright, sorry for the hold up, I'm back. Anyways, let me get this right. This train's still running, and we're drifting through some unknown dimension. Oh, about that, strike it as me as quite dramatic. Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew that this would happen, Faust? Yes. What the hell is wrong with you, huh? The sinners each began to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Verjois intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about what's to come. Are you actually serious? It's not like we can just retreat or jump out the door when stuff hits the fan! Opening the door will result in near immediate destruction of the physical body.
그래도 파오.
Hey,
앞으로
Fao.
어떻게 할지 정도는 다 계획해 둔 거지? 그렇지?
Hold on. Hold on, just 1 second. Be right back. Alright, I'm back, sorry. Sorry for hold up, just needed to check something. Anyways, I'm back. Anyways. Hey, Fao. At least tell us you know what to do like you always do. You've got a plan, right?
그렇지?
Right? Faust, whom I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond.
뭐야? 저 왜 저렇게 얼빠진 모습인데?
What's up with her? Lass looks totally out of it today. She gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. She said that something unexpected happened. The other sinner's anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going to go over the situation from the start, okay? But just letting things play out might really turn everyone against Faust, and for good. Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of the trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down. Then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on, Faust. All of it, and in a way that we can understand. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? If you say so, I'll go along with it. Fine. I suppose oozing my rag rarely ever did anything.
감사합니다. 그럼
Thank you. Then, after some time, the gist of Faust's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue has always involved a certain contract with a unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. W Corp, having caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions, decided to contract us to deal with a mysterious, repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by a distortion. After multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course,
뒤틀림 현상 자체는 문제가 없었을 겁니다.
the distortions themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp. Based on the available information, it can be determined that they would have all been neutralized as soon as the train arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms.
하지만
But the real issue was that the passengers were disappearing.
사라진다니?
Passengers spirited away! Alas, such is an impossibility aboard these trains, is it not?
그 부분을 포함하여
That is the problem. The precise cause and effect we must determine. Did W Corp share anything to get us started? That appears to be the most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because we were concerned about disclosing the secrets of their singularity.
Who's shooting me? Which person is shooting me?
She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about disclosing the secrets of their singularity. That's probably why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this, now that I think about it. We wouldn't even know where to start if we didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Faust produced what appeared to be a keycard with the W Corp logo on it before continuing with her explanations.
대신 이 동면 캡슐을 언제든지 열어둘 수 있는 마스터 카드 키를 받았으니
However, we were given this master key card that can open and close the hibernation capsules at any time.
의뢰를 해결하면
We may return to our
저희는
respective capsules as soon as the
이야기했던
contract is
동면
fulfilled
캡슐로 돌아가
and safely complete the rest of our journey as we had planned from the beginning.
날개라는 건 왜 하나같이 이 모양인 건지.
These bloody wings. Every single one of them's been absolutely barmy.
중요한 단서는
I think it's a bit unkind for them to ask us to finish the puzzle without all the important pieces.
적어도 T사에서는
At least the D Corp, their chief executive director, tagged along as our assistant, not to mention kindly explaining so many new things to us. It sounds like Miss Faust was stuck between a rock and a hard place herself. Some sinners grew more receptive after explanations, albeit with a sigh. I would have appreciated it if you at least gave us a hint.
맞아요. 이해가 아주 안 되는 건
Yeah,
아니지만
I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's someone out there monitoring everything you say and do, right?
그건
That is... What? Not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece.
다음은
Next time, I will
참고하도록
take your
하자.
inputs into account. And that's just all about that I can do for her. It's an undeniable fact that her actions have disappointed the sinners. This is Faust we're talking about, though. I'm sure she has backup plans to get us out of this situation.
그래서 이제 우리가 어떤 일을 하면 되는 거지?
So, what's next on our agenda?
그래, 뭐
Yeah, what's
일단
done
일은
is done, right?
벌어졌으니까
Besides, it's not like we're gonna
여기서
rot
평생
away for
썩어야 하는
thousands of
상황을
years inside
피한
this
것
little,
같고
inside this metal box. That
그
is something I must
관리자님과
first
잠시
discuss with
상의해 보도록
Dante.
하겠습니다.
Oh, if you're asking what food am I eating, Brick? Pork chow fan with lumpia. You know. The usual. Discuss. Sorry. But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust?
목소리는 낮추는 게 좋을 것 같군요, 단테.
We must converse in a lower volume, Dante. Why are we whispering? Her secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to Giselle Shaft, Faust,
파우스트가
has been severed.
연결되지 않습니다.
To answer your question, Brick, it's a rice bowl with spring rolls. Basically a rice bowl of fried rice with spring rolls, more or less. Anyways, my connection to Giselle Shaft, Faust, has been severed. I'm sorry, what?
저는 파우스트의 정보를 열람할 수가 없는
I
상태입니다.
cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment. Just like that, the ominous feeling I had turned out to be right. Have you ever tried the new Heathcliff identity? No, I haven't had the fortune of getting him yet. Already did 2 10 spins and nothing. Just double identities. Those identities in question being Blade Lineage Otis, and Corp Heathcliff. That's it. Ain't got nothing yet.
What are we even talking about now? As soon as you enter my domain,
You can use my support if you want to try it. I don't have much in terms of you know,
what are you doing?
actual charge units. The ones I have aren't properly, you know, assigned or leveled up.
Yo, you're dog shit, yo. I know you are. Keep that again, pussy.
Inaccessible.
Okay, bro. Wait, is Sam the level?
네,
컨제스천 클린.
청소 중.
각 정리 요원은 위치로. 곧 열차 정리가 시작된다.
최선을 다해볼게.
아기
일이란 간다.
Hold on.
흑수.
잠깐. 이번 임무는 내가 나갈게. 괜찮지? 다들
걸만.
명령하실 때까지 자리에서 대기하겠습니다.
잠수 준비 끝.
말 그대로입니다. 평상시에 얻을 수 있던 파우스트의 의견과 정보를 아무것도 얻을 수 없다는 뜻이죠. 그럴 가능성을 배제할 수는 없지만 그것에 대한 것도 확실하지 않습니다. 지금은 제가 갖고 있는 지식만을 활용하고 있습니다. 원인은 알 수 없습니다. 차원 이동에 의한 문제 대비는 충분했을 테지만 아마 파우스트는 이런 예측 불가능한 차원과의 연결까지는 상정하지 않았던 것이겠죠. 혹은 상정했다 한들 아직 교차 관측을 하지 못했을지도.
I gotta reread this. Sorry, I had my mic muted. Sorry. I cannot discern the cause of this disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel, but perhaps Faust did not take this into account on an occasion in which we may have to access an unidentified dimension such as this. Or even if it was taken into account, this particular dimension may not have been subject to cross-observation yet.
그것도 아니라면
If that is not the case, then no, never mind.
탑승 직전까지만
There was
해도
nothing that suggested that my connection to Faust would be lost, even as we boarded the train. To be honest,
부분적인 당혹감을
I find myself in a
느끼고
somewhat
있는
perplexed
상태입니다.
state. Alright, I get it for now. Now that changes everything. I recall the last thing I saw before the hatch and the capsule were closed, when Faust told me not to worry too much. Okay, this is just a minor setback. Wait, nothing we can beat, right? We got this. I began to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set their sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we ever do run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. Don't stress yourselves too much. We still have a lot to work with. Your knowledge, my clock, the sinners, and I could feel my confidence taking hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth, but that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded.
네.
Understood.
그리고
And to the sinners,
운행중인 워프
the fact
열차에
that we are
있다는
currently confined to
것만으로도
warp train in operation must be a source of enough
혼란스러워하는 것
stress.
같으니
It would be
곧이어
best not to share
파우스트의
Faust's
현재
current
상태에
state with them
대해서
and add an unnecessary
고민하지
source of
않는
tension.
뭐야? 그럼 이 열차문을 부숴도 다
What? So
뒤진다는
wrecking this
거야?
door ain't gonna do anything? We're all going to bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break this door down? A billion years in this box. Yeah, that might be best.
그래서 이제 어떻게
So,
만드는
what
거지?
now? Do we take a search and sweep through each car or
큰
something?
틀에서는
In the grand scheme of
맞다고 할 수
things,
있다.
yes. Faust cleared the air with a cough before continuing.
우선
By the A-Corp standard
열차는
timescale,
운행을
approximately
시작한
3 days have passed since our
A사 표준
departure.
시간차는
As per the contract
Limbus
between Limbus Company and W Corp, I
W사의
acquired a master
계약
key card placed inside my
캡슐에
capsule and
비치된
adjusted the hatch
마스터
settings to
카드키를
open
획득하고
automatically in 3 days. 3 days, huh? I feel like I just blinked in. I guess that's hibernation for you.
이미 알려진
As you
대로
were all informed prior to boarding, there was no way for the
일반석
economy class
칸으로
passengers to enter the
들어가는
first class car. That is why
이곳은
this place has
아무런
remained
변화가
untouched.
제 추측과
However,
W
cross-referencing my
사의
own
불시한
deductions with
설명을
NW Corp's rather fragmentary
일반
explanations, I can
문제의
assume that the
상황이 진행
situation
중일
is currently
것이라고
under progress
생각됩니다.
in the economy class
그
cars.
뭐야?
The
지들끼리
part where they
싸우다가
thrashed the
털털이
shite out of one another, tearing their limbs off and all that mess.
아니요.
No, I doubt that.
사흘 만에 그렇게 되는 것도 쉬운 일이 아닐
I don't think it
뿐더러
gets that bad in just 3 days. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W Corp, right? There has to be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with.
정확합니다.
Besides,
제가
my opinion
생각하기에-
is hold that thought for but a moment. Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index finger to her lips and signaled to be her to be quiet. Just down here as alt as I do. Scratching, Nate, rapping. So past this gate must be. As Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door, an odd expression of half curiosity and half horror appeared on her face. It's possible that there must be. Lady Faust? After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turned their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly in thought.
잠시 비켜나시죠.
Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. It would be
직접
best if I
보고
observed it with my
대응하는
own eyes. With that, she produced the master keycard from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door.
뭐야? 잠깐.
Oh, hang on a minute. You're going to open the door?
히스클리프 씨의
I intend to
평소
follow
조언
your flavor of
한번
suggestion,
따라보려고
Heathcliff,
고민하기보다
that there are times in which a physical altercation is
때로는 더
preferable
나을
to
수도
detached
있다는 거야.
ruminations.
어?
Huh? My suggestion?
Uh-huh.
Well, I ain't going to disagree with you there, but
Uh-huh.
what's going to into your ass?
어차피
After all, how could I
저도 직접
deduce
보지
anything
않으면
without seeing it myself?
아무것도
After a brief mechanical beep, a hideous creature suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. Nothing happened inside the warp train, just a fast transportation. We better pray to God it shouldn't take this long.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
오자 터뜨려주지.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
아이쿠.
囚人に致命傷を確認。至急対処お願いします。これも作戦の一環。リンバスカンパニーの戦い方。
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
어머, 놀랐어?
거야.
Huh, use Heathcliff Clashable Guard.
向こうにも事情があるのでしょう。ですが、
Uses Clashable Guard, huh?
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
깨 부숴주마.
인전이 안
Holy shit!
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
ドクターのように優れた指揮ですね。効果的な攻撃でした。囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
충전 기능 점검.
Wait till we have 10 plus charge count, huh? Alright, I'll believe it when I see it, but at the moment, we're kinda helpless here.
敵に変化が見られます。
Ooh, rip space, huh?
Okay, 1v1, 1v1.
Total count consumed 6. Okay, 3 plus charge potency.
충전 기능 점검. 단숨에 정리한다.
I think it's high time we found out.
투성이네.
Holy shit! He's cracked! Oh, wait, should I go for another 10 times or?
파우스트군.
Pretty fast. However similar in appearance they may have been to the passengers. Fairly, tis as though they were in complete want of sense. Like people palletified by the whale. Don Quixote, who hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against him, hung her head mournfully. Normally, Faust would have told her more information about these monsters before the fight began, and she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. I kind of ran out of charge. I figured the attack alone would do enough. The battle was almost over. Faust began searching the area, closely observing various bodies in the general area for information. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss Faust. Yeah. Aren't you usually the one who has all the answers while we're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The sinners were starting to realize that there was something off about Faust's behavior. They might even soon realize that there was something wrong with Faust. Don Quixote? They are not dead. Huh? Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? Wait until I get W Heathcliff. The full W Corp team is going to be fired. Man, I wish I had the resources to invest in the W Corp team. Like, I have 3, like, so far I have 3 W Corps. Faust, Yisang, Otis. But I ain't got the resources to put them all at max level and make full use of them. Nor do I have any good any threads to convert. Or rather, any shards to convert to thread. It's not that I don't have enough. It's more, I'm saving for the future. That's a problem. Oh, it appears that the flow of time has ceased in this space. Therefore, it follows that the connections that set their bodies to life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, but even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Hey, what'd I say? We got this!
뭐라고 했어?
Huh? What was that about? Oh, nothing. But I'd forgotten that all the sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. The flow of time is ceased aboard the warp train, is it? The song grew pensive. Seeing that, Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. Oh, you're kidding me! Literally put him on the first 10 extraction tool. I put 20 and nothing! What the hell, man? I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. The was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. Albeit, would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time is accelerated to the point where to an extra-dimensional observer it has slowed to a stop? What is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that is the most rational suggestion, Yi-san. Did Miss Faust just get something wrong? Man, this feels like it's comedy with how much Dante's fumbling to defend Faust sometimes. Hey, I'm not complaining, but it's better than nothing.
Yo, I was about to go knife this guy. I was about to go knife him.
Hold on.
그래도 되겠는가?
Gladly, if you would allow me. Yi-sang began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. That was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that that is not an element aboard this train. And can you maybe speak in a little less brevity? To elaborate. Verily, this one's hard to speak still. Don Quixote lowered her head and listened closely to what happened to be a dismembered torso and shouts of relief.
이들은 퍼즐 조각이 여러 개로 나뉜 것처럼 단지 활동할 수 없는 상태로 나뒹굴고 있을 뿐이야.
Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated.
몸이 분리된다는 과정은 진행되었지만
Though their corpus has been sundered, the concept of death is at a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train, existence and continuance of moratorium. Forced they are to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. I don't understand what had been said here, yet they are dead, not dead all the same.
이들의 파편이
If their
연결되어
separate
있다는
parts are
것은
all connected, then it can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies
결국
become,
파편끼리의
it is not
실타래를
impossible to
따라
eventually gather their parts together to
승객
form a single
하나하나를
passenger.
특정할 수 자연스럽게
Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has come to be.
누군가는 이 퍼즐들을 조립해서 구별해둘 필요가 있을 테니.
I see. Because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey's over. It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists. Ever seen a wing that wasn't baffling in every sense of the word? Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, the passengers will all be put back together like nothing happened. From what I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. It's a lot more visceral when I have to look at it in person. That is quite the auspicious news among ill tidings indeed. It soon clicked to me what Faust was through some awkward effort trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sidle with relief. Maybe Faust was trying to cheer up Don Quixote in her own way.
단테,
Who was she a while ago would not find it even necessary to do something like that, Dante? Huh? What's up? Oh, time to whisper, right?
네.
Indeed. I
정보를
intend to
수집
collect further
중입니다.
intelligence. Well, if there's anything I can tell you. Faust cast a dark gaze toward the chunks of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them and she whispered,
이들이
"Are they
뒤틀림인지
distortions or
혹은
abnormalities?" Oh, yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that. They weren't humans, that was for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable. A clear sensation or an aura. An unclear sensation or an aura. I felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the source of this sensation. Anyways, back to it. One thing I do know for sure is that this sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormalities, distortions, or even the Pekatula. If I had to lean one way or the other, I'd say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either of those.
확신할 수
Is
없는
it difficult
건가요?
to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I'm going to guess Faust doesn't know.
파우스트라면
Faust
알고
may
있을
know,
수도
but I at
있겠지만
this moment have no way of knowing. I feel like I should apologize for that.
그러실 필요는
There's no need,
없습니다.
Dante.
불확실한
Though the
정보지만
information you have provided me is rather ambiguous,
한
it
가지
has helped me
추론에 도달할 수
deduce
있었기
something of
때문에
worth.
그리고 직접
And
정보를
collecting intelligence
수집하며
myself and creating
논리적
deductions based on
결론을
sparse
만들어내는
information is quite... She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands. Did
지금
she just smile to herself with gore in her hands?
드디어 각성한 것인가?
Finally, the awakening has begun. Relishing in brutality. A classic.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤 멀리까지 튀어서 정리하기 힘들겠지만
Okay, 50,
너희가
30.
이해해라. 힘 조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면 내가 오지도 않았을 테니까.
Except the multi-crack office. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we open the door to the next cabin only to be greeted by a loud commotion.
저희 외에도
It sounds like there are other survivors.
위험에 빠진 승객들인가
Passengers in danger! Fret not, for I have arrived to. Yeah! Whoa, whoa! Don't come any closer! Who the hell are you guys? A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently stopped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away. Right, if you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect the civilians in this car. Oh, so is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old-timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. To think that this lady, Sasha, she was a traitor. And a coward at that. You don't insult my gremlin Dawn and think you can get away with it, buddy. None of it. I know what you are, you little shit. Oh. You wanna see what this old timer's got left in him?
그대 복식을 보아하니 북부의 사람인게로군.
That word from the north, verily. That garbage out of northerners, no?
아이, 이 와중에 무슨
This really ain't the time, Wes!
아무튼 이쪽이나 그쪽이나 같이 사고.
Anyways, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place go to waste.
울렸다니.
Bitten? What the hell are you on about? Weird, you look completely lost. If you were in one of the economy cars, I'm sure you've seen... Hold on. Are you all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be... Well, why didn't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack office rep. That you ordered weapons and allowed us to pass.
사샤,
Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. We warped over to T-Corp after picking up one of their contracts, but jeez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit if you ask me. You can feel all that, even a prosthetic body. Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get high quality parts from him so I can still feel them all.
그것보다
Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass did something else of note go down? How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that. Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in the fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want them to sync up with the other parts ASAP. And you, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. I haven't got a goddamn clue as to who they are. Don't seem like they can understand us either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped up monsters there were the pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. 3201 red colors, 3202 red colors. You have decided to protect them despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. Of course! This is an expected duty of any evil warriors fixer to stand guard in the front lines against the evil, to protect the weak! I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to constantly trying to claw their way to the front of the train. So if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there in one of the train cars in the back and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell about you about the situation. So, what's your story? Why you rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happened down here could have made it to your swanky first-class car, so what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are, fixers! Indeed, fixers. Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Huh. They got every single one of you a first class ticket. Your office must be rolling in the dough. Wait a goddamn second. So W Corp already knew that this would happen? But, are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust you.
이미 잘
As you
아시겠지만
must be well aware yourself,
해결사들
contracts and
간의 가장
contract
중요한
fulfillment are
계약과
of
그
paramount
이해무자.
importance for fixers.
그리고 W사는
With that in mind, please recall that
이상
W Corp is one of the
보안을
most secretive
중시하고
wings of
있고요.
the city. Ah, non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with those old boys either. Anyways, I'm still gonna have to ask for proof that you are actually contracted by W Corp.
W사에서 사전에 받은 마스터 카드
This is the master
키입니다.
key card given to us by W
어지간한
Corp.
놈은
I believe that
뗄수
you can
있죠.
open most doors aboard this train. Faust produced a master key card from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we were actually contracted by W Corp. Key card? Wait, a key card? So you use this to open a path between the first class and the economy class car. Let me see. W Corp. Go. Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there's any cash in it for me either. So, I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh?
그렇죠.
Yes. The fixer finally got out of her way, then with one of her free hands pointed toward the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents, or your victory lap if you guys are really that good. Lots of luck to y'all. I thank thee for thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with the protection of this fortress. Protect the innocents in my stead. Makes this. Are you a fixer? Are you going to save us from the monsters in the cars behind us? Oh? Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled up on Don Quixote's coattails. Aye, forsooth. Oh, you're really a famous fixer. Forsooth once again. Thou mayest know me as a profoundly illustrious fixer. Whoa, I want to be a fixer too, just like you. Don't press her, the lady. I'm sorry, she's my daughter and... Worry thyself not, this no bother. No bother at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire.
당신 같은 자가
It is fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard this train.
다행이긴
Your
합니다.
presence ensured that child's survival. What you talking about all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two on something or what? I see. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what she just said. Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Be like, what? You knew that there was no other way the fixer was actually going there to protect them out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway, am I right? Good move. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. You saw that twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Eyes. Faust strode towards Sasha with a question.
마지막으로
I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be
It'll
30k on per inquiry.
같은 바닥
That is
채찍끼리.
quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us.
저희 쪽 의뢰가
Have you considered the
성공하면
possibility that once our contract
추후에
is successfully
W사에
completed,
적극적인
we can
협력
include
사무소가
references to
있었다면
a particularly cooperative
제보해드릴 수도
associate
있을
office in
텐데.
our report to W Corp? Whoa, you serious? Well then, let me hear it.
혹시
Were the eyes of the monsters you faced red by any chance? Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something. And answered. I don't know. Those monsters were red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger over there's got red eyes, and oh, you there. That lady with the big swords also got red eyes. What, is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something?
아니요, 별것
No, well,
아니었습니다.
it was a question of no significance. Faust nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Hold on. Better.
파우스트, 전투 시작합니다.
皆さん戦闘の準備を。
일기당천.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
자신 있으면
皆さん
뛰어보던가.
戦闘の準備を。
Oh, it's messed up! It's messed up! It's messed up! It's messed up!
충전 기능 점검. 단숨에 정리.
敵が来ます。皆さん戦闘の準備を。
암호 시동 체크.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 거꾸로 제쳐라.
부숴주마.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。
온전히 앉아 있어라.
Oh, damn, boy.
的な攻撃でした。
Badass! Badass! Badass!
일기당천.
얼얼하지? 정신 못 차릴 거야.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
Yo, God, run in! Is that you right outside the arena? Just run in! Run in! Oh, I thought that.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
자, 이분은 이쪽으로.
Whoa, whoa, wait. His S3 last coin power is 16 points if you had enough charge? Well, damn, boy.
났으니까.
파쇄 완료.
And what do I guess Silent Orchestra Faustbrick says? A requiem for the gone angel Catherine or Angelica.
I got all the HP.
Oh, damn.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤 멀리까지 튀어서 정리하기 힘들겠지만 너희가 이해해라. 힘 조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면 내가 오지도 않았을 테니까.
Oh, I killed him!
Amy and Black Otis.
This basalt Rex. The basalt Rex. He tried to
잠수
kill me,
준비
now he's
끝.
in the corner. Now you wanna spin around. Now you wanna spin around.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
Now you wanna spin around. I'm gonna just bait you right here, right now. I'm dropping this T-Rex.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
Chat, I'm king of the arena. I raped the Titanosaurus and the T-Rex at the same time. Are we dead ass right now? How would I just...
일기당천.
Also, he's a charge rupture identity suitable for your Heisho team. Well, damn, boy.
이거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yo, the Titanosaurus is
皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
일기당천.
中心に致命傷を確認。至急対処お願いします。
ゲッソジュマ。
効果的な攻撃でした。敵に変化が見られます。
my bad to it. Oh, you killed your ass.
신속히 처리하죠.
온전히 앉아 있어라.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えます。
끝났으니까.
약점 파악 완료.
これも作戦の一環。リンバスカンパニーの戦い方。
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
온전히 앉아 있어라.
Okay, shit. I think I need to get W Core P-Cliff now. Holy shit!
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
Oh, there's two Rexes and the D-Rex on this Titano. Oh, next time. Oh, you're getting it so wrong. Oh, you're getting it so wrong. Oh, it's about to be so... Oh, this time.
일기당천.
And there goes the Unbreakables.
동강내주기. 온전히 앉아 있어라.
ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした。
끝났으니까.
Oh shit, he's taking spines!
둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
Limbusカンパニーの戦い方。
충전 기능 점검. 단숨에 정리한다.
Oh, poor Heathcliff with that Charge Hand Eagle gift would be insanely cracked, huh? now that you mention it, there are a ton of treasures when combined together make for some pretty powerful combinations. Just remembering them.
囚人が死亡。どうすれば。
신속히 처리하죠.
Oh, dang, you got Heathcliff. Lucky you.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오? 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
빈틈투성이네.
전탄격발.
끝났으니까.
What do you know? W Corp are pretty good when it comes to their home turf. Holy shit.
좁은 곳에서 전투하는 건 제법 지치는 것 같아요.
Phew. Battling in a narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you.
어쩔 수 없어요.
It can't be helped.
저희가
But
지키는
fighting in narrow hallways like
일선인데
these is pretty exhausting for people who use long weapons like we do.
금방 지치기 마련이니까요.
These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that sheer number would eventually wear the sinners down.
파우스트 씨, 저들 정체는 대체 무엇일까요?
What are these things, Faust?
그래.
Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden?
저것들은
Those entities are...
것들은
어떤 존재라고
What
생각하시나요?
do you think those entities are?
네?
Huh?
그걸 방금 제가
Didn't I ask you the same question? Oh no, are you
저희에게 먼저
giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of making up his own interpretation of her silence. There were some things that I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us.
맞네. 이들은 굶주리기라도 한 듯 뭔가를
Quite!
돌진하고
It's apparent that they hunger for aught, charging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest for it.
맞아요.
Right, that's strange though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. It could be determined from the entity's behavior that their attack patterns have no basis in rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness.
그리고
Yes, and? Was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah. I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies were wreathed in blankets of red.
냄새는 피 냄새다.
I smelled blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you all. Your insights have been very helpful.
유용한 정보였습니다.
It was my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that?
이번엔 운이 좋았습니다, 단테.
We are in luck, Dante.
열차에 탑승하기 전
I've read upon this subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination moments before we boarded the train.
지식이 쓸모있는 열쇠가
And while that will be a
되었다는
useful element in resolving this situation,
단테의 조언대로
the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open?
그렇게 장담할 수는
Nothing can be
없습니다.
said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners.
지금부터
I will now
이
present
상황을
before you a
타개할
solution to this
방법을
predicament.
제시하겠습니다. 그냥 쭉쭉 뚫고 가는
Is there
건가요?
something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's in our way?
그 자체는 바뀌지 않을 테지만 결과적으로
That will not change, no.
이번 의뢰의 목적은
However, what I'm
무엇인지,
about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind W Corp's contract and provide us with the possible meanings of finding the method by which we may complete it.
이번 열차 그리고 지속적으로 워프 열차에서
It is
비슷한
very
사건을
likely that the
일으킨
entity
존재.
behind the incidents on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred in previous warp train trips,
매우 높은 확률
is a blood fiend.
Still trying to whip the D-Rex.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤 멀리까지 튀어서 정리하기 힘들겠지만 너희가 이해해라. 힘 조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면 내가 오지도 않았을 테니까.
I fucking okay. Never mind. Oh my goodness! Boss. Not so bad. Bro, God, catch up, bro. Milkita's coming, bro. Milkita's after you, twin. Yeah, you can take care of him, bro. It's okay. I think of not I haven't seen a fairy in so long.
Whoa, wait, Brick. You think I have more egos than you? Man, most cases it's unintended luck. Like, minus the base, we have Wishing Karen, Command Meltdown, Red Eyes, Contempt, Crushbound, Tears, Dimension Shredder, Snag Harpoon, actually, sorry, not Snag Harpoon, Tidal Elegy, Tears, Unbrilliant Glory, To Remain Oneself, Fluid Sack, Red Sheet, 100-Footed, Death Maggot, Telepole, and Ardor Blossom Star. Not that many. If you exclude the base.
Wait, bro, I'm 53 HP. I can still win this.
My IDs aren't that great, and team isn't properly set up. My brother in Christ, I'm kind of bringing the worst first. So at the very least, they'll get chipped off. On the other hand, I need to utilize the bonuses here. See? 256 from the get-go. We're getting closer.
아, 정리 작업 시작합니다.
Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What in the name of the wings is that? Huh? You, of all people, haven't heard of blood fiends? I thought you were a team expert on obscure lore. Really? I have neither read nor heard of mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory? Don Quixote foiled her brow was genuinely lost. It was as though the very word sounded alien to her. Hard to imagine that the waters of Wete at the time were pretty effective in wiping her memories.
Not for all my spots for this one. So, taking grasslands for me? Nope, nope, I ain't running the arena, got it.
Sorry for the hold up. I just needed to finish my food. Now, as for what chat was saying earlier, Brick, to answer your question, I don't really use my ego as much. I kind of just rely on the raw power of the identity to get me through the situation. Though, the ego, more often than not, has helped me out of a tough spot. More than a few. I don't exactly see them as much a necessity as much as I see them as a means to turn the tides. That said, I have never once sharded an ego in my life. Haven't seen a good reason to actually try and do it before, but, you know, that's how it goes. Anyways, Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very words sounded alien to her. I thought they were just monsters and stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I heard their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they're really afraid of is water. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past, when I served as a commanding officer, and I have seen the drakes that they command. No, my memory isn't very clear. I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. There was a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers too, but the things that blood fiend commanded weren't rubber glove looking like these. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn with these dregs with abandon like these. But don't you notice already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past, along with the explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you stated thus far, the entities we face in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are drake-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties, according to information that I am aware of. What a terrible name. Why would anyone name someone blood bag? As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains at our W Corp is vast if incomplete, we cannot find any exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence that the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. While the word violence is a rather large umbrella term, it likely involves activities such as cannibalization. However, as the passengers' collective time itself is in moratorium for the duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even cannibalized passengers can be reconstructed. If they are merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are, by their nature, obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims, and it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Wait, what? Didn't you just say that digestion is not a thing here? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a process fundamentally different from our consumption of nutrients for energy. To them, blood is a culmination, an entailment of something that forms a self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, well, purposes of existence. Then it must follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from the other biological processes such as digestion. I ain't following even half of that. You exist in moratoria of time at the present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy, they continue to spark within you. Huh? Well, I suppose they are.
그것이 변한
Though we
것인지
cannot tell whether they are
생멸한
in a state of
것인지는
alteration or
알 수
whether
없으나
they remain ensnared in the wheel of
지나간
creation and
감정은
destruction.
사라졌다고도
It can
볼
be
수
said that
있을까?
emotions once passed exist not in continuation. The
승객들의
passengers' will to
살아갈
live, the
의지와
worth of this
존재의
very
가치
existence in
또한
which they thrive, does it
멈춘
not
시간
all
속에서
generally
점차
atrophy into
사라지지
non-existence even amidst the seized time?
혈귀에게
Miss Faust seeks to
혈액이란
illustrate the
그러한
similarity
것이라고.
between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood
설명한
fiends.
것이.
Gotcha. That's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh?
승객의
If that's the
구성이
case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means that they can't be pieced back together.
논지
There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either.
질문을 몇
I would like to ask a
가지
few questions if you would
하고 싶소.
permit me. Isong was the first to break the silence.
피주머니라 하는
Could it be said that
존재는
blood bags are direct
혈기가
creations of blood fiends?
직접
If such is the
만든
case, then
것이야?
by which method do they? That information
거기까지는
is inaccessible at the moment. Faust replies, avoiding Isong's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust, and that's something we can both want to avoid.
제한
Inaccessible. Indeed. Now we recall what you have said in the past.
추측이지만
This is only speculation, however.
피주머니로 만들기
I assume that a
위해서는
form of direct
어떤
physical
식으로든
contact is
접촉이
needed to
필요할
turn
것으로
an
보입니다.
individual into a blood bag.
그렇지 않다면
If such were not the case, then we, who are
가장
likely the greatest
멀쩡한
obstacles to this entity's goal at the
말이 되지
moment,
않을
would
테니까요.
have been the first ones to be turned. Indeed.
그렇다면
In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train.
그렇겠죠.
Indeed, if we are to believe the words of the Vixer from earlier, then there is a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the blood fiend.
좋네.
Very well! I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of this innocent passengers. To bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished at the villain's hands. It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated, while the other sinners also appeared rather satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Faust, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now.
신속히 처리하죠.
깨 부숴주마.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
승객 무력화. 허리.
자신 있으면 덤벼보던가.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
Limbusカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
신속히 처리하죠.
동강내주기. 끝났으니까.
敵に対して
이거리면 충분해. 너한텐 저긴 멀겠지만.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
충전 기능 점검. 당신의 정리.
동강 내주기.
効果的な攻撃でした。このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
신속히 처리하죠.
サンタさんの作戦、とても効果的でした。놀랐어? これが必要な戦いであれば。
신속히 처리하죠.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
핫! 하! 핫! 마음 놓고 열어졌지.
끝났으니까.
敵は深手を負っています。
Right.
일기당천.
아이쿠.
囚人に致命傷を確認。至急対処お願いします。
마음 놓고 열어졌지고.
얼얼하지? 정신 못 차릴 거야. 깨 부숴주마!
처리했어요.
좀
제압 완료. 승객 복원 준비.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤
Oh
멀리까지
dang,
튀어서
110.
정리하기
God
힘들겠지만
damn, man.
너희가 이해해라. 힘 조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면
Next up, the
내가
cleanup
우선했을
agent.
테니까.
사냥감인가? 몸이 그
敵が来ます。皆さん戦闘の準備を。
Right.
일기당천.
敵が来ます。皆さん戦闘の準備を。
암호 시동 체크.
부숴주마.
안전히 앉아 있어라.
向こうにも事情があるのでしょう。ですが私たちは止まれません。
오자 터뜨려주지.
동강 내주기.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えます。
동강 내주기.
サッカーのように優れた式ですね。
아이쿠.
ついでに致命傷を確認。至急対処お願いします。これも作戦の一環。リンバスカンパニーの戦い方。 さんさんは戻れないあの日をずっと懐かしんでいるのですね。でも飛び立とうと羽ばたいている姿が見えます。
신속히 처리하자.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
끝났으니까.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
일기당천.
온전히 앉아 있어라.
"向こうにも事情があるのでしょう。ですが私たちは止まれません。
암호 시동 체크.
간단한 정리 작업이었는데.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고
온전히 앉아 있어라.
제압 완료. 승객 복원 준비.
얼얼하지? 정신 못 차릴 거야.
囚人が退却できませんでした。あ、ダンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね。
단숨에 정리.
전탄격발. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
온전히 앉아 있어라.
림버스 컴퍼니の皆さん、この勢いに乗って
오자 터뜨려주지.
勝ちに行きましょう。
바람
제압
불어오는
완료.
대로
승객 복원 중. 승객 무력. 확인.
온전히 앉아 있어라. 끝났으니까.
몰라 빈틈투성이네. 잠깐! 관리자나리! 이 사람 좀 보게! 아직 살아있는 자가 있네!
Sorry for the hold up. I guess I'm gonna have to make this faster because I gotta go to sleep. Anyways, but Manager Esquire, halt! Behold this poor fellow. He lives still. Don Quixote, with her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. No, stay away from me, you monsters! Hey man, we're not those monsters. You alright? Huh? That arm. You're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into some bug-like monster. Ah! What? No, this is... Gregor scoffed for words, turned and stumbled for words, scoffed, then cast his gaze toward the foreign disbelief. Yeah, well, no surprise there. I suppose there's no way to tell right away whether this arm's a monster, prosthetic, or whatnot.
같은 생체형 의원이더라도 이렇게 투박한 구형 모델은
It is possible that you are mistaken due to its bioprosthetic being of an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city. aesthetic.
다행이네요.
That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again.
쳐들어올까봐. 보다시피
As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in here.
그런데 W사
So,
직원들이
what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? Huh, you're right. From what we found out about warp trains through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them ever willingly board this train.
외부 의뢰로 온다던
The contract fixes, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract.
저희
I said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there, and B. Faust! Is there truly no way to cure the blood bags?
죄송합니다. 그 정보도
My
아직 열람할
apologies.
수가 없군요.
The access to that information is prohibited at this moment as well. Though her voice and expression were both serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it. I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in a barely audible volume. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I'd also going to use the Faust omniscience because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. When the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right choices? Doubt, coming with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. What can I do, right? The agent struggled to find some corner of the room with its wooden leg and pulled on a lever. They made good use of this space. And the wall behind what initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees sprung open. Oh, what in the names of wings is this? Chance, hast thou hidden here a weapon most powerful? Weapon most feared by the blood fiends?
1등석에서 본
That
캡슐이랑
holds some
비슷하게
resemblance to a
보이긴
capsule we saw in the first class car, but why would that thing be here? The cleanup agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall. Finally. What is it that thou seekest to do? W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of these emergencies. Really? Huh? Good luck. With the rest of the mission. With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and a wall covered with viscera remained. It's gone. Here he goes.
가버리셨군요.
He has departed the scene. We blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. Well, then I guess let's move on to the next car. Keep on keeping on.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤 멀리까지 튀어서 정리하기 힘들겠지만 너희가 이해해라. 힘 조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면 내가 오지도 않았을 테니까.
A few more fights then. One more. Just one more.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는군.
敵が来ます。皆さん、戦闘の準備を。
신속히 처리하죠.
모든 것에 견뎠어.
エンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
이상 승객을 정리합니다. 비상 승객을 정리합니다.
Alright.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
완전히 앉아 있어라.
God damn, boy.
対して大きな打撃を与えました
We all say just one more, then we end up doing everything or being broke. Well, I figured we're starting to get somewhere, aren't we?
至急対処お願いします
Right?
ドクターのように優れた指揮ですね
일기당천.
써주마.
핫! 핫!
効果的な攻撃でした
동강 내주기. 끝났으니까.
ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした
충전 기능 점검. 단숨에 정리해요. 떠돌아가는 길에서 이렇게
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
약점 파악 완료.
囚人が退却でき
Okay.
ませんでした
Wait, Sultan.
ダンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね
오작 터뜨려주지. 파쇄 완료.
There we go.
빈틈투성이네.
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라. 그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が
신속히 처리하죠.
넘고 선 넘고 무수히 넘고 얼마든지 꺾고 제쳐라. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
끝났으니까.
Alright. Closer and closer.
정리 끝. 파편이 꽤 멀리까지 튀어서 정리하기
165.
힘들겠지만 너희가 이해해라. 힘
Alright.
조절이 될 만한 놈이었으면 내가 오지도 않았을 테니까.
That's a lot. Okay. Slowly but surely, I'd say we're making some similar progress. Okay, over. Okay, small amounts, easy as pie. It's small but easy. Should I use the tickets before I wrap this up, or? I gotta ask before I wrap this up. Should I use the tickets or should I wait for the next event? Save it all up, you know? Should I? Ain't exactly much to exchange here. Alright. Okay, not much in the way of useful, especially since I'm low on resources, but yeah, I think I should probably wrap this up for tonight. I will be back tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's up to for now, get a good night rest and continue tomorrow. Yeah, I'll wrap this up. It's been, sorry for keeping y'all waiting, but it's been fun, y'all, and I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. Woomy!